So today I'm going to talk about how you can improve your dribbling. Now, it doesn't matter what position you play, pretty much you're gonna find yourself in a position on the pitch, in a moment on the pitch where you need to, dribble the ball. You need to be in control of the ball. So, after you take a few dribbles, you can pass the ball, whether it's, you cross the ball, whether you shoot. You're gonna need, a decent level of ball control. Obviously, if you're maybe a centre back or a fullback, you don't need to have, crazy dribbling. You don't need to be able to, take on 2 or 3 guys, do a bunch of step overs, but you still need, an adequate, decent amount of dribbling slash ball control, because it all ties into, dribbling, ball control. It all just ties into, how secure you are on the ball. And obviously, how secure you are on the ball is going to help you, make the right options, find the right passes. Just help your team win on the ball in build up play. So I'm going to be talking about how to improve your dribbling. Now the first point about improving your dribbling is, especially if you're a winger, is literally just to develop your bag. Now what I mean by developing your bag is literally that you don't have to, try 10 different moves. You don't have to, work on perfecting, 10 different moves to get past your man, to get past your fullback. Literally, just take 2, 3, maybe 4 moves and just perfect them. Just literally, just keep practicing until you're perfect. Keep practicing in different scenarios, on the right wing, on the left wing, going inside, going outside. Literally, however, whatever sort of moves you want to practice, literally just practice them to perfection, so that it literally becomes second nature to you. It becomes natural to you. Now, how you choose these moves is up to you, in my opinion. If It's up to you, in my opinion. If you feel like if let's say you try a move and it feels very natural to you, you feel like, okay, cool, that was nice and natural, that was swift. I like that move. Then you add that to your sort of arsenal. But if you try a move and you feel like, it was a bit, it didn't feel natural to me, it was a bit of a struggle to, actually make that move. You feel like, if it was in a real match, you get tackled by the defender easily, then you just leave that be. That's literally just how you develop your bag. Like I said, literally, I'd say two to four main skill moves. Because even if you think about, the best players in the world, the best wingers in the world, even the best 1v1 players in the world, it's very rare where you get a player who pulls out 9, 10 different moves. It's a new trick every game. It's always, they just have their set moves and they know what to do with it. Like, let's take Jeremy Doku, for example. Doku for Man City, like, this guy, he'll be twisting defenders inside, outside, but they know what he's going to do every time. You know that little shimmy's coming, where he's going to shimmy it inside and he's going to either cross the ball or he's going to take a shot. But because his acceleration and his sort of that his first step is so quick, that defenders, they know what's coming, but ultimately they just can't stop it. Same as Ian Robin on the other side, on the right hand side. Ian Robin, they all knew what he was going to do. They all knew that eventually, even if it looked like he was going to go on the outside, eventually he's going to get that ball on the left and he's going to be able to curl it to top into the keeper's right. They know what's coming. Even if you take, CR7, when he was playing for Man United, and even his early days at Real Madrid, 1v1, you sort of just knew, his arsenal. Obviously, he had the single step over and he'll shift it onto his left foot and strike it. Obviously, he had the double step over, where he'll take 2 step overs, cut inside on his right, and then he'll have a shot, maybe cross the ball, and then you knew he had his signature, the Ronaldo chop. You knew he'd either chop it on the outside, chop it on the inside, have a shot, like I said, play it across the box, whatever he needed to do. But you sort of knew what was coming. You knew his arsenal. It's not that he was pulling out rainbow flick this game, elastico next game, doing all of this. It was like, nah. It was like, yo, he has his set skill moves, and it was effective. It works. Defenders, they could study him, they could do this, they could do that, they could prepare for it. But ultimately, when it came to game time, they couldn't stop him. So literally, that's the first point. Literally, develop your bag. Get them 2 to 4 moves where you're comfortable. It feels natural to you, that you can do it quickly, you can do it swiftly. That can deceive and that can deceive your defender, so you can actually get past them. So that's literally the first point. Just develop your bag. 2 to 4 skill moves, doesn't have to be too much. Next point about how to improve your dribbling is to practice dribbling with your weak foot. Now, the reason I say this is because a lot of people will call themselves two-footed. Even me, I'm guilty of this. I used to say, yeah, I'm both-footed. I'm a two-footed player, because I could pass with my weak foot. I could do short passes, medium passes, long passes, and I could shoot with my weak foot, whether that's with the laces or with the instep. But however, not too many people can actually manipulate the ball with both feet. I remember I couldn't, I could shoot with the left, I could pass with the left, but dribbling, no way. I'd get off balance, and it was just nasty. It was nasty, to be honest. I couldn't even dribble with the left foot. And a lot of players are like this. I feel like a lot of wingers these days are like this. This is why you get a lot of wingers these days. They can't play on both sides, literally because they can't use both feet to manipulate the ball. They literally can't play. They can't play on both sides. And if you're the guy where it's like you can dribble with both feet and you can play on both sides, that literally just gives you an advantage. That literally just makes you, an outlier. So when you're trialing for a team or something, even if you feel like, let's say you're normally a left winger, even if there's a left winger ahead of you who's like the best player on the team, instead of you stressing and being like, oh, I'm always going to be on the bench, I'm never going to get on, if you can play on the right and still produce that same sort of quality that you can on the left, it's like, yo, you're not even worried about this guy. You're like, all right, cool, he can play on the left, I'll just go over to the other side and play on the right. Like, it just sort of gives you that advantage. Just makes you more versatile. And obviously, dribbling with both feet, it just opens up the game. It just opens up the game so much, because if you're only dribbling with one foot, there's sort of, maybe there's a pass you don't see. Maybe you turn the other direction when the correct direction was the other way. But because you can't dribble with your weak foot, you just didn't see that option. You didn't see that pass. You didn't see that opportunity to drive into that space, simply because you can't dribble with both feet. I remember even the clip of Eden Hazard in the World Cup for Belgium. What's it called, against France? Sorry, he was up against Pavard, and then Pogba came across, and the only reason Hazard was able to protect the ball, keep the ball, was literally because he could dribble with his left foot. He used that left foot. I think he did a little La Croqueta around another defender, but that's how he was able to hold off Pogba. But if he couldn't literally manipulate the ball with his left foot, Pogba would have just easily came and she just snatched and she just took the ball off him. So literally, it just makes it so easy to protect the ball, because obviously protecting the ball, your body needs to be in between the ball and the man. But in certain situations, if you can only dribble with one foot, your body's not going to be in between you and the man. The man's literally just going to be right there next to your strong foot, and it's way easier to just get the ball. That's why I say with wingers, it's like not many wingers can play on both sides. Because let's say you're a right-footed player. On the left-hand side, if you're a right-footed player and you're cutting inside, your body is automatically between the ball and the man. So it's easier for you to just take that ball inside and wrap it. But if you're a right-footed player who's playing on the right wing and you're using your right foot to sort of drive inside, your what's called your body's not in between the ball and the man. The ball is literally right there next to the defender. So he can just poke it. He can just dispossess you very easily. That's why in that situation you need to be able to use your left foot to drive inside. Make sure your body's in between the ball and the man, and then obviously strike with your left foot, or whatever you need to do. Pass it, play a little dink pass over the top, whatever you need to do in that situation. But yeah, literally, as a winger, literally just be able to manipulate the ball with both feet. I promise you, it might not seem that important. You might not see pros who can do it, but trust me, it's just gonna open up your game so much. Even if you're a centre midfielder, as well. Just being able to go both ways and manipulate the ball with both feet. Trust me, it just opens up the game so much. Please just practice dribbling on your weak foot, because passing and shooting, that's slightly easier to master. But actually manipulating the ball with your weak foot, it's harder, because let's be honest, not when you're young, you don't really get taught that, in my opinion. Your coaches, they'll encourage you to pass with your left, pass with your weak foot, shoot with your weak foot, but no coach actually says, yo, we're gonna have a session on just dribbling with our weak foot. It's very, very rare to get that. So that's why I even tell my younger brother, who's like 10, I tell him, yo, start dribbling with your weak foot. It will open up the game for you so much. But yeah, that's the next point. Literally, work on that weak foot, dribbling especially. Then the last point is literally just to work on your speed and agility with and without the ball. Now, obviously, not all great dribblers are quick. Obviously, we have so many dribblers who are not that quick. Iniesta, Bernardo Silva, etc. There's so many great dribblers who aren't necessarily quick. However, it just makes it so much easier when you're a faster player, when you have better acceleration. Just having that explosive burst to actually perform a body feint or perform a step over, and just having that acceleration just to get away from your man, just to get just get 2 yards away from your man, so you actually have the time to think about your next action, whether that's a pass, whether that's a shot, whether that's you want to take two more dribbles. Just having that acceleration to just give yourself the time to compose yourself and actually think to yourself, all right, cool, what actually do I actually need to do next? I used the Doku example before because he's so explosive over the first 2 yards. He just does that little shimmy and he's gone, and then he has the time to just pick his spot to do whatever he needs to do, whether he wants to play inside to somebody, play a 1-2, a little give and go, or whether he wants to try and wrap it down the far post. It just gives him so much. It just gives him just that extra time to just yeah decide his next action. Because think about it, if you have zero acceleration, then you might get past your man, but he's just gonna get back at you. If he's still in arm's reach, then it's going to be difficult. You're going to be constantly, wrestling him to get the ball. Maybe gives you a little shoulder barge, and now you're sort of off balance, which affects the quality of your pass or the quality of your shot. So I just think having that acceleration, just trying to improve that acceleration over the first 2-3 yards is crucial. And I'd just say for this, literally just start. You can do your dribbling drills, but I literally just say a lot of players, a lot of people when they do dribbling drills, the dribbling drills are very tight, which is obviously good for close control. But I'd say mix it up a little bit. I'd say increase the distance on any dribbling drill you do. So let's say you in between each cone, whatever dribbling, this can be used for any dribbling drill. Let's say for each cone, your the distance between each cone, is like 5 steps. Increase that to 10 steps, because obviously in 11-a-side, you're probably gonna have to carry the ball much further distances than you actually train in. So get used to 10 step, a distance of 10 steps between each cone. Whether you're doing like a zigzag drill, whether you're doing like a T-shaped dribbling drill, whatever drill you're doing, literally just get used to carrying the ball at far distances and really just carry the ball at far distances, but mainly focus on those first 2 to 3 yards. So that's literally what I'd say to improve on your acceleration and actually how quick you can carry the ball. Because like I said, in 11-a-side, you're going to be carrying the ball way further than you do in training. Because in training, you want to make sure the dribbling drill is tight. You want to really work on that ball control, which is good. But like I said, mix it up. Get used to carrying that ball 10, 15, even 20 yards in some scenarios. You might be a fullback, you might be a winger, even a centre mid. There's going to be times in games where you're going to have to carry that ball 10 yards, 15 yards. And if you're not used to that, then obviously by the time you've completed that 10-yard dribble or that 15-yard dribble, you're going to be tired. And obviously, like I said, the quality of your next action, the quality of your pass, the quality of your shot, or whatever it is, short pass, long pass, is going to be reduced because you're fatigued. So literally, I'd just say, yeah, whatever dribbling drills you're doing, make sure you vary the distances. Do some short drills to work on that close ball control, but do some longer drills as well, so you get used to really carrying that ball further distances. So you're used to, driving 15 yards and then having to do 2 step overs, or having to do a little body thing. You know what I'm saying? So getting used to that. So by the time you have to perform that little skill move, you're not absolutely shattered. You're not absolutely tired. So yeah, that's all I've got to say for this video. Hope you enjoyed. I'm JT and I'm out.